Well, good day, viewers, and welcome to today's Sports Wrap Show. I am your host, Brian Monango, unpacking the latest sports news. Well, we did definitely have a good weekend that we can talk about, starting off with Manchester City, who drew with Spurs 3-3, and Liverpool, who had to come back from behind twice to win against Fulham 4-3. Well, that's just international news. With local, as we all know, African stars put 10 past young Brazilians, but we will get right into that when we get into the hit list. Well, Nico Eslinger, Jessica Humphrey, and Salome Ray tell us about their time swimming and motivation for other swimmers. They are part of the national team that will represent Namibia in Mauritius from the 6th to the 10th of December for the 15th African Junior Swimming and Open Water Championship. Let's see what they had to say.
My name is Jessica Humphrey. I swim for Aqua Swimming and Fitness Club. And well, I'm going to Mauritius next week, and I think it's going to be a really great experience. I've been training for quite a few weeks for this competition, so well, I think we're going to do pretty well. And well, you have to train a lot for these kind of things, so it's really nice to be part of a sport and everything. So it's just a wonderful experience. Also, we're getting sponsors, so doing a sport like swimming is really just a wonderful thing. We get to travel to these beautiful places, swim in the water. It's lovely.
Okay. What is your message to those that will be watching?
Well, to get to this level, you just have to train hard, try your best, and you'll eventually get there.
Okay. How long have you been swimming?
Competitively, I've been swimming since I was 8, but I've been swimming really since I was a small baby, so I've always been like part of the water.
So hello, my name is Nico Eslinger. I'm swimming here for Dolphin Swimming Club, but of course I will be representing Namibia in Mauritius. I am 17 years old, and so the preparation for Mauritius has been I had a very intense preparation. I've been training really hard, focusing on swimming in the recent weeks, and also especially the past week I've been tapering a lot to be prepared the best for next week. And a message to all the young ones who are watching is to keep motivated, never give up, and to follow your dreams.
Okay. When did you begin swimming?
Sorry?
When did you begin swimming?
Oh, I started swimming since I was in the kindergarten, so probably like at the age of 4. I started to learn to swim, and then I enjoyed it so much that I continued with swimming, and now I've never stopped and still enjoy it every day.
My name is Salome Ray, and I swim for Aqua Swimming and Fitness Club. I'm going to Mauritius on Monday for the African Swimming Championships. It's really very exciting to swim against people of this level, and my message would be to always keep dreaming, keep having goals, go for them, and stay driven. As long as you can dream it, you can do it, as they say. So always work hard for what you want, and whatever you want, you can achieve. So yeah.
Well, as we all know, the team have departed for Mauritius, so hopefully they will come back with some medals. African Stars secured a 10-0 win over young Brazilians over the weekend in the Demerin Premier League. With that being said, we did catch up with the captains, and this is what they had to share.
10 goals in one game. What do you feel about the team's performance?
Yeah, no, it's good. It's good that we had different scorers today all around the pitch. It's a good indication that we can get goals from anywhere. So, of course, we are very delighted that the rest of other players brought their part today, and they got onto the score sheet.
A statement of intent for African Stars for the league title?
Of course. You know, we only have one mission, and that mission is to defend our title successfully. So such performances and getting goals and picking up 3 points, we are just going for the championship again.
And do you have a notable goal that you think stands out more than the others?
Of course, I think Juja's goal is a standout today. What a goal from on top of the box. I think it was a good goal for him, a confident booster as well going into the next games. And we only hope that he will get that form back take that form into the next game.
Yes. All right, thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
Was a bad result,
10-0.
very bad, but how did you assess the game as a player?
As a player, I'm not fine because the way our approach was all kind of fine. Those guys are players, and that's obvious. It's obvious. There were a lot of silly mistakes which he made, which caused those goals to went in there. So I have nothing more to say.
So what do we do from here after a 10-0 result?
We'll try our utmost best to get our 3 points tomorrow, which is against Orlando Pirates. We'll try at least to go back with it, at least a point or 3. But from my side, I think we will be positive tomorrow and at least get those 3 points.
Thank you so much, sir.
Well, as you all know, Dricus Coetzee took part in the 1,132 kilometers manga race in South Africa. Well, the record stood at 50 hours of completion, but he did it in 46 hours. With that being said, let's take a look at what Dricus had to say.
So Dricus, one day later, tell us how it went.
Yeah, well, obviously for me it went fantastic, like I hoped it would have gone. But the preparation was good. I set my sight on this race throughout the whole year after the dash last year. This was my focus, and I did everything I could to be in the best possible shape for this one. And I was on the start line ready for anything that would have come my way. Luckily for me, the conditions were good, but with that said, in the Munga you will always have your headwind, you will always have the corrugation, you will always have the heat. You know, it's the conditions were good, but it remains a challenge to pull this thing off under 2 days, under 48 hours. It's unreal. If I think back on it and the journey I've went through, the 48 hours, I've never pushed my body that far, but the good thing about it is I haven't reached my limit yet. So although I tested it now and I saw that I can do these things with 15 minutes of sleep in 48 hours,
Insane.
It gives me hope for the dreams and the goals I still have ahead.
And your bike, tell us a little bit about your bike.
Yeah, the bike setup was the most amazing setup I've ever had, and I need to thank Jacques Swart from Gravel and Tour for it. He's been amazing, helping me with equipment, helping me with knowledge on the route, just giving me a sense of calmness going into the race. I mean, that the Curve Big Kev gravel bike is fantastic. I rode the rigid fork. It took the corrugation exceptionally well. I went down Oberg Pass really well, in control, and throughout my body obviously took some shots, but everyone goes through it. The good thing about this whole ride is I can say I took potentially one dip, and that was at, I think it's at Loxton, the Razzle Dazzle section, but the heat was 45 to 50 degrees then. And I think that's just the heat that played a role at that moment.
Yeah. So was there any moment where you thought that the record might be out of the window?
No, I had confidence all the way in my ability. In the back of my mind, I was pushing the pedals no matter if the record was half an hour, 2 hours behind me. I was going to do this thing as fast as possible and as fast as I could. Whether it would have been a record time or not, to be honest, I came here to break the record, and I pushed the pedals all the way. It wasn't about just the record, it's about testing my limits and see where I can go, and I think I still have something left in the tank.
So the final one, would you recommend this race to anyone?
Yeah, sure. I think if you're into the endurance, this is a nice semi-supported event. The water points and the race villages, the people are just amazing. The communities you get to know and the farms you get to ride through, it's amazing scenery, and you'll never experience the scenery without being on your bike and not doing this event. So I'll definitely say hopefully we can be some more Namibians, or well, get more Namibians here next year. I don't know if I'll do it next year. But hopefully we one or two can come and enjoy and experience the same which we just did this year.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, Rikus. And
Thanks.
what's next?
Oh, that's a difficult question, huh? Let's see. I don't know. Let's go into 2024 with a blank page and we take it from there.
Awesome. Thanks, man.
Huge congratulations to Dricus Kutia, who keeps on making waves. I'm sure we will see him at the Desert Dash this year. Hopefully, I'm sure he will try and win that one once more. Well, Weekend Drop is up next after we visit the marketplace. Well, Blue Waters took on Rundu's Julinho Sporting in a game that was very, very interesting and high of goals. With that being said, the Erongo team did cover that for us, and we do have the highlights.
We're joined today by Selma Kaulinge, the Communications and PR Manager of Nedbank Namibia. Hi, Selma, how are you doing?
Hi, Anushka. I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. I'm quite excited to have you in studio today.
I'm so happy to be here. It's my first time in studio, but I'm happy to be here.
Well, you should be here more often then.
Yeah.
We are going to be talking about the much anticipated event of the year, the Nedbank Desert Dash.
Yeah.
So Nedbank has been part of this event for a lot of years.
Yes.
So can you just give me an overview of, what Nedbank is doing and how they came on board?
Okay. Well, definitely we are excited that the Nedbank Desert Dash takes place already next week. We were basically planning it the whole year, but it's finally here. We are excited. Nedbank, obviously, if you followed our story, especially within sports, Nedbank has been a huge supporter of Namibian cycling, probably one of the biggest supporters of Namibian cycling. So it was just obvious or just natural that Nedbank also, officially sponsor one of the greatest cycling events in Namibia, which is the Nedbank Desert Dash. So we've been on board. The Nedbank Desert Dash is in its 19th year.
Yes.
So we've been on board just over the last 8 years. So Nedbank has been sponsoring the Nedbank Desert Dash, and we're very happy and we're very excited. Like I said, it is one of the most anticipating sporting events on our calendar.
So with their excitement, we can definitely guarantee for many years to come, Nedbank will be signing.
Definitely, yeah.
Yes, so can you also give us a bit about the route and, because I know I'll never be able to do that.
Yeah.
But the route, how they're going, the cyclists going, the trials and tribulations and everything.
Okay, so the Nedbank Desert Dash is the longest single-staged cycling event in the world. It's one of a kind. It's a race cycling event, mountain bike cycling event that takes place from Windhoek to Swakopmund through the Kommershoogland mountains. So you go through the Kuferberg, the Auspass, you get all the way to Konikontes and then finally to Swakopmund. So it's not only about cycling. I think if you do the race, it really has to do. There's so much more that's involved with it. So the cyclists have to travel almost 400 kilometers, about 369 kilometers from Windhoek to Swakopmund. The race has to be finished in 24 hours. So it's a challenge, but I think it's one of those challenges that people put on their bucket list and are very excited for.
Yeah, no, we had Beverly, one of the cyclists, also in studio last week, and she said it takes a lot to get ready. It's not just the body, but also the mental and emotional well-being that you should get ready. Because a lot of people are also doing it for charities this year.
Yes, we have a couple of charities, or a couple of people who are doing the dash for charities, which also brings another aspect of the race. So it's not only sports or tourism or nature, it encompasses so much more. So people decide they're going to do the race and they're going to raise funds for certain charities. We have charities that are focused at children, babies, charities focused at people who have lost their loved ones. So the dash has become so much more than just a cycling event, and we are very proud of it, and we're very excited definitely this year as well.
Now, with all these elements in place, how many participants do you guys have already on the books?
We have about just about 1,000 participants in 3 different categories, or a couple of different categories. So we have the solo, which is the people who are the bravest, who go through the desert by themselves, and then you have a 2-man team. It can be mixed. It can be 2 female, 2 male. It can be mixed. But then we have 4-person teams. So then you divide the route with your teammates. So we have just about 1,000 riders, because we go through the desert, and because obviously it's because we want to protect our natural resources. We have to cap participation, and that's also another reason that adds to why the Desert Dash is so sought after, because we get participants from all over the world, who come to do the race.
That was actually my next question. Is why do you think the Desert Dash remains such a significant event in the cycling community?
Well, firstly, it's one of a kind, definitely. Secondly, it's the numbers are capped, so you really have to, especially for the 4-man team, it goes very fast. I know sales for that go less than a minute. They are sold out because of the limited amount of people we're able to have. I think it's also a challenge for people, you know what I mean? And it's also, like I've been saying all throughout this interview, it's more than a cycling race. I think people do it to challenge themselves. I think people from overseas come because Namibia is such a beautiful country, that in itself. But also saying that you've completed the Desert Dash, I think is also just...
I think that is actually, in the conversation, everybody's like, yeah, well, I did this and I didn't. And then you just come pop to the conversation and said, I completed the Desert Dash.
Exactly.
I think that's the conversation stopper, be like, okay, I know, you won.
Exactly.
But because of the event itself and the duration of it, like we said, it takes a lot of physical, mental, and emotional health and well-being to actually participate in this event. Any well-wishing you have for the cyclists?
Yes, definitely. We wish all the cyclists really, I know they've been preparing months now, because obviously the dash, you do it one day, but you have to prepare, basically the people I know have been preparing the whole year. So we really want to wish all the cyclists really the best out there. We pray and we hope that the weather is favorable to them. All the family and friends who come out to support the cyclists, we also wish them well. Support drivers, our organizers, our partners. I also maybe just say a word to our co-sponsors who are Hollard, Trek, Indongo Toyota, and Superspar. So we thank them, but yeah, definitely to our cyclists, we'll be there at the start and we'll catch you at the finish, and we're very excited.
We are definitely also very excited to see the happenings of it. Well, our Ironga team is definitely going to be at the end game to also wish the drivers well and congratulate them. So stay tuned, guys, because Nedbank Desert Dash, it's here.
Well, that was Selma Kaulinge, who was chatting to Anushka about the Nedbank Desert Dash that's scheduled to take place on the 8th. With that being said, we did speak of the highlights between Blue Waters and Julinho Sporting FC. Let's take a look at those.
Headed out. Julinho. Good turn there. Once again, Akumep. Oh no, it's rushed from the goal line onto the crossbar, but the referee have blown. Good control by Celino. Ball is crossed inwards. Trick twist, but Spiegel. And it's once again Blue Waters putting up some good pressure. And there we have it in the back of the net eventually. Yeah. There's the celebration. Here's Akumep. Sends the ball in. Good control. Twisting and turning. The ball is in. Oh yes, it's a third goal. It's a third goal into the back of the net. And here comes Blue Waters on the attack. Cross in. Oh, it's a beautiful goal. It's a beautiful goal by none other than Isaskar Gurirap. Have to redo it. Cross in by Ahumap. Goalmouth scramble. Oh yes. Clean from the goal line and then Muscute. And there's an opportunity. And yes, they hit the back of the net there. Celino pulls one back. They worked very hard for that one and they were eventually rewarded. It looks...
I'm here, I'm joined by Captain. Captain,
Yes.
how's the game?
The game was nice, man. Yeah.
Okay, tell us, what points would you guys like to improve based on this game that you played today?
The points we like to improve, as you see in the game, especially our forward. We create more chances, but at least we score. At least we score 3. But we're supposed to score more than 3, or maybe 8. But our forward, they are jokes. They are making jokes, but it's part of football. We have to go back to the drawing board. Then we rectify our mistakes. It's not the end of the world. At least we thank God we won.
And you guys are going up against live fighters tomorrow. How do you think that you guys are ready for that game?
As usually, you know, we have to, the purpose of the game, especially we are home ground. Our aim is to win. We need the 6 points for the weekend, so that we can chase those guys up front there. So obvious, we have to go hard for them tomorrow, like we did today, so that we can get 3 points again tomorrow. So we collect 6 points for the weekends. Yeah.
Okay.
From the day you were born and welcomed until your pensioner years on this earth, your life is filled with changes and phases. What mattered the most at age 10 may be an unknown memory at 25. The heartbreak at 16 may be replaced with wedding bells at 27. The degree you've always wanted or starting your career business may come true at age 30. And the dream to own your own home may come to realization at age 50. Whatever stage you find yourself in, whatever matters right now, Standard Bank has what you need to bank like you. Choose your own path. Choose endless possibilities. Standard Bank, it can be.
Good day everyone, time for international sports news, and starting off with soccer news first. It is a FA Cup time that continues. It was a draw that was made for the third round of the FA Cup, that is in the British soccer leagues, and it is a big matchup going to be on the 6th of January between Arsenal and Liverpool. They're currently the number 1 and 2 team on the English Premier League, Arsenal being first on that log and Liverpool second, and they've been drawn to play in the third round on the 6th of January. That's unfortunate for them to play so early against each other, but that's reality of the draw of the FA Cup, and that game will be played at Arsenal. Also other games, it will be Sunderland that will host Newcastle, one that I can mention, but also the important one is the defending champion, that is Manchester City. Manchester City will host Huddersfield in the third round, that's also on the 6th of January, and in the 2022-2023 final that was played early in the year, it was Manchester City winning against Manchester United. The score there was 2-1, and Manchester United, they have a away game against Wigan that will also be on the 6th of January. That is third round FA Cup coming in the new year. Moving on to golf news, and it's two golf players from the Live Golf Breakaway League that won on tournaments outside of the Live Golf competition. There's currently no Live Golf tournaments. They were allowed to play in the South African Open and the Australian Open, so a great result for South African. That is Dean Burmeister. He won the South African Open at the Blair Athol golf course close to Johannesburg, and it was also Joachim Niemann. He had won the Australian Open, and it was both of them that got good points on the world rankings. It is for them important because there's no world ranking points playing at the Live Golf Initiative at the moment. Joachim Niemann, he moves up to number 59 in the world from number 82nd, and it is Dean Burmeister that moved up to number 77 in the world. That was up from 106 in the world before the SA Open tournament. Many of the Live Golf players have fallen way down on the golf world rankings because they don't earn any points. The best placed player at the moment is Brooks Koepka of the United States. He's 17th on the world rankings, mostly because he won the US PGA, and then Cameron Smith is down to number 23 at the moment in the world. He was at the end of 2022, he was number 3 in the world rankings. With Southern African interest, it is Louis Oosthuizen, that was a former world number 4, but he's currently number 441st in the world rankings. That was also playing 2 seasons of Live Golf. And concluding today's international sports news with cricket news, it is India that will tour South Africa in December and up till early in January. And it was Cricket South Africa that announced the teams for the T20 and the one day, the 50 over one days, and also the test series against India. Big news from that announcement is that Themba Bavuma, the current 50 over captain and the T20 captain, he will not play in those 2 formats against India. And it is also Kagiso Rabada, the opening bowler for South Africa, that also not feature in the white ball cricket. He will also not play in the T20s and also the 50 over internationals. Cricket South Africa gave the reasons that there's going to be emphasis on the test cricket, and they want Themba Bavuma and Kagiso Rabada to be fresh for 2 test matches that will be early in 2024 against India. Actually, the first one will be late in 2023. So the series will start on the 10th of December in Durban. That's the first of 3 T20 internationals against India, and then followed by 3 50 over ODIs and then 2 test matches, finishing with a test match that starts the 7th or the 3rd of January at Newlands in Cape Town. The captain for the T20 and the 50 over internationals for South Africa will be Aiden Markram, who also captained South Africa in the 50 over World Cup on some of the games that Themba Bavuma was not available because of injury. That's international sports news for today. Hope you have a great sport day, and we talk international sport again tomorrow. Goodbye.